Tea Party marked this year's tax day by forming protests across America. Some gathered in Washington, D.C., others in Boston and elsewhere. One protest was held in Hudsonville, Michigan, a small town in Midwest Michigan and the site of several speeches.
That was pretty good. It's hard to get people out on a weekday, and I think at its peak we were looking at well over 600. Saw one person guess 900. So this is not that big of a town, so it's impressive to see this many people out here. Ken Braun, Mackinac Center for Public Policy. I am the managing editor of Michigan Capital Confidential.
The Mackinac Center for Public Policy is a free market think tank based in Midland, Michigan. Michigan Capital Confidential is an alternative news source funded by the institution.
I thought it was great. This is the first time I've ever been to an event. Actually, it was a great turnout today, and the speakers were really good. And I'm not real familiar with the Tea Party. I've just read a lot of stuff on Facebook, and I get email from them. So I thought I'd turn out and see what it was all about. I'm Mark Kidd. I live here in Hudsonville. I'd like to go to one again.
Okay.
I'm very impressed with the turnout and the speakers that they had. And the one speaker from Czechoslovakia, which he came from a communist country. And actually, I know him kind of in a roundabout way. And actually, he was smuggled into this country and gained his freedom, so he knows both sides of being under suppression from communism and what freedom is.
Born in communist Czechoslovakia, Thomas Kosmak defected to Greece in 1989, right before the Berlin Wall fell. He immigrated to the United States in 1990 and became a citizen in 2003.
Well, my biggest concern that I didn't even get to mention up there at this little speech is that I see very large parallels here in the United States with the current political climate, with the current government, the current president in office, parallels with the country where I used to live in, the communist Czechoslovakia, and I became very concerned.
For some, it's difficult to tell if the Tea Party is an offshoot of the conservative movement, or if it is its own entity. Regardless, the question of where it'll go from here remains.
I think it's a little of both. I believe that it is an offshoot, but also I think it stands on its own as far as taxation and the raising of taxes, and unemployment was a big issue here too. I mean, we can't tax ourselves into prosperity. I mean, we're taxing ourselves out of jobs. Okay. Just like Michigan State is trying to raise more taxes because they don't have enough for their budget. More people are leaving.
Well, the biggest hurdle they have is they've already gotten over it. They're getting out here and they're getting together and they're seeing that there might be a need to do some collective action with each other. Deciding what to do with this energy is, I guess, the next thing. But the hardest hurdle was getting together, and I think over the last year they've shown they can do that.
Staying on one voice. I believe that they have, a certain platform that they're going on right now is taxation. That they continue to do that, and because it's not Republican, Democrat, Independent. It's everybody that goes to these things. It's not, it's not just Republicans. It's anybody that has the same view as what the Tea Party has as far as taxation and losing of freedom.
I think it leans more to an individualistic thing. I mean, if you look, certainly there's a lot of folks out of here who have social issue concerns. I seem to be a couple right-to-life things here today and the like. But I think that there are people of all different social stripes that show up at these events. And if you look at the flag they chose, it's not an abortion flag. It's not an anti-immigrant flag. They chose a flag that says "Leave us alone." Don't tread on me is the banner that they're rallying under. They care about how big the government is and how it's getting out of control. And the day that problem's fixed is the day you'll see these crowds dissipate. I think it won't have anything to do with any of the other extraneous issues that are often hung on this movement.